Actually, this Microsoft Word can be used to prepare some letters. For example, you are writing job application letter. You can use Microsoft Word. You are writing a letter for application. The letter can be official or friendly letter, of course. Or if you are a student and you want to write your assignments, then you will need Microsoft Word. If you are writing a proposal, you need Microsoft Word and different other reports. When you finish your school, you will prepare your curriculum vitae using Microsoft Word plus other personal documents. For example, you want to prepare your notes, your plans, etc. You need Microsoft Word. Now let us see how you can start Microsoft Word. Here are the steps. The first, you need to click the Start menu on your Windows operating system. So you click the Start menu, and after you click your Start menu, here you see a number of programs. Or if Microsoft Word has been opened recently, if it has been opened recently, then you will find it and the recently added programs, as you can see here. But you can go to other programs. These programs are arranged in alphabetical order. So you may find here, you find Microsoft Office, then you go, as you can see, there are other packages like Access, Excel, a PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, and here you can find Microsoft Word. So to start Microsoft Word, you click this icon here, you say this is Microsoft Word, then it will be opening. As we are waiting to for the program to open, then in this video, actually we will go so quickly to look at the following parts. We'll look at Microsoft Office tab, File tab, the Quick Access Toolbar, the ribbons, the tabs, and the groups, so that we can familiarize ourselves with the common features of Microsoft Word. So after you have started your Microsoft Word, you will find that there are different ways where you can open your document. You can open Microsoft Word from a template. Here you find some templates that you can use to open Microsoft Word. For example, we have adjacent letter, adjacent report, adjacent resume, apothecary letter, we have resume, we have a blog spot, we have chronological letter, etc. So a number of templates that you can open and create your documents. But in our case, let's go to a blank document and click this blank document. Now let us see different parts of this program here. So let us start with the first one here. This one, as you can see, it is written file. This is called a file tab. In fact, all these ones here you see, we call them tabs. So here you say this is a file tab, this is a home tab, this is a insert tab, this is a design tab, a page layout tab, a references tab, mailings tab, review tab, and view tab. All these we call them tabs. And if you open these tabs, you will find that there are some commands here inside. You find commands. These are the commands that will help you to format your documents. But these commands are grouped. Then we call this is a group. For example, if you go to a home here, we say this is a group called the clipboard. So a group contains a number of commands. And we have another one here, which we call a font group. It has a number of commands. Then we have a paragraph group. It has a number of commands. We have style group, also has a number of commands. So these ones here, we call them tabs, and these we call them commands, and this is a group. So if we say that in totality, all these, the combination of tab and the groups and all of these, we call them ribbons. So when we say a ribbon contains three important components. The first component is a tab, the second component is groups, and third component is commands. So these are commands. This here is a group. So a group contains a number of commands, and the group is under a single tab. So all of it, we call it a ribbon. And that's why in Microsoft Office 2007, you find this tab here called Office. It is written as is called Office ribbon or Office button. It's called an Office ribbon or Office button. Now let us look other parts. So this one here, we call it a File tab. So the same, this is, we call it Home tab. This is called an Insert tab. This is called a Design tab, Page tab, etc., etc. But we have this very important part here where it contains like shortcuts of these other commands. This part here, we call it Quick Access Toolbar. This one here, we call it a Quick Access Toolbar. And in front of it, there is this bar, which is written document 1. This bar here, we call it a title bar. This is called a title bar. So if you are told to mention, let's say, what part is this? This is an Office tab. This one here is a Quick Access toolbar, and this one here is a title bar. If you go down here, you find another bar down here. As you can see, this one here, this bar here, we call it a status bar. As you can see, status bar, it shows pages that we have only one page. It's a page 1 of 1. Then it shows the number of words. If you have written, for example, if I write this and that, you see here it shows there are 2 words, etc. So it's a status bar. It shows a status of your document. And in some offices, or even this one, you can find that. So this is a title bar, and we have this part where we write our document. That one is called a document area. So all this part here is a document area. And in the status bar, we have other stuffs like view buttons. For example, here we have view buttons. You can view your document as a read mode. For example, if you click this, you can view it as a read mode, or you can view it as a print layout. That the one that we have. You can view it as a web layout. So all these buttons, the 3 buttons here, we call them the view buttons. These are called view buttons. We have a zoom control. If you want your document to be zoomed, you can zoom it in a zoom control like this. You make it bigger, or you can just have 100% view, which is a clear view. Now let us talk about Microsoft Office tab. We'll spend some time here talking about Microsoft Office File tab. This Microsoft Office File tab of 2013 replaces the Microsoft Office button, which was in Microsoft Office 2007. I told you that Microsoft Office 2007 has a button here, which is called an Office button. This is where you come when you want to open, let's say you want to open a document. You come here and click. For example, if you want to open a new document, or you want to save a document. So if you want to open a new document, you click here. We'll discuss about that, don't worry. If you want to open a document that existed, a document that is was here, you want to open it, you use this open. You can save a document that has not been saved, you use this first save. And if you want to rename a document, you want to save it under another name, you use this save as. Then if you want to open recent documents, we say you use open. Or if you want to print documents, you use this print here. And if you want to share documents, you share documents. Now let us look at these parts of Office File tab, one after another. So let us start with the new. If you open new, means you want to create a new document. So you create here and you are creating a new document. As I've told you, you can create a new document which is blank document or a template of documents. So if we click that, then we will create a document. As you can see, this is a document. Suppose we write here, Mama anakula. So that is a Swahili language for mother is eating. Okay, now that is, we have written something that mama anakula. Now we want to, we have created a document actually. Now if you want later on to come and open this document for maybe editing, or you want to add some stuff, some more stuffs, then you need to refer to it with a name. So after we have created our document and we have written something on it, then we need to save. How do we save? We go to a file, then we click save. So after we click save, then we are told to specify where do we want to save. So suppose I'm saving it on a desktop. So I will select desktop, then that is a place where I will save. Then I will save it as learning. I will save it as learning. Then I say save. Now our document has been saved. So if you have saved your document, if you go to the title bar, remember I told you about title bar, you will find that the title bar has changed its name. Now it is called learning. At first it had a name which is document 1. Now after you have saved your document, then your document can be known by a name. If you want to share this document, then you go and click share. So you can share it via email, you can share it in a blog, or you can save it on the cloud, or you can present it online if you are connected to the internet and you are using online services for presentation, for example, a Google Meeting or Microsoft Meeting software. Then you can present it online just like that. That is called sharing. But you can also export this document. When I say export, it means that this is a Word document, but you can save it in other formats. For example, you can save it as a PDF file. So if you click export, for example, you are told to prepare a document and save it as a PDF file. So you go to the Office tab, then you click export, then you say create a PDF or XPS document, then you say create a PDF document. You save it on a desktop like there, and you click publish. Now you will have a document, your document saved as a PDF file. So you see this is a PDF file that has opened. Okay, that is a PDF file. So Microsoft Word enables you to create documents, enables you to save the documents, enables you to share such documents, enables you to print the document. If you want to print this document, again you go to the file tab. After file tab, then you say print. You will find a printer there. You select the printer that you want to use for printing, then you click print, then it will print. So that is the office tab. Again, in the office tab, for example, you have created this document and you have saved it on your desktop. You have created the document and you have saved on your desktop. Here is a document. So if somebody opens your computer and opens this document, it will just open just like that. So there are some additional features that are under the file tab that enables you to encrypt your document, to apply password on your document to make it other people not to read it. So you go to the file tab. If you go to the file tab, you will find there is a menu called info. So if you click info, you will find a place written protect document. Protect document. Here, if you click this, then you select how you want to protect your document. You can add a digital signature to make sure that anybody who has access to that document knows that who has created the document, who is the original creator of the document. Or you can even restrict access. You disable people from editing it, from copying it, or from printing it. So if you restrict access to this document, means that you will make sure that whatever you have written stays as it is without any additional stuffs. So nobody can edit, nobody can copy or print. And you can also restrict editing. But here I will show how you can encrypt your document with a password. So if you click this, you will be required to enter a password. Say you write the password is 1234. That is password 1234. You enter again. You say 1234. Then you say okay. Now your document is protected. But after you have protected your document, you need first to save. So you click save, and from there, if you close this document, and open it again, then you will be required to enter password, which is 1234. Then if you click OK, then the document will open. So those are the features that are found under the Office File tab, Office File tab. Now we have another part of Office. We have another part which is called the we call it title bar. This one here, as you can see here, this is a title bar. It shows the name of your document. It shows the name of your document. After you have saved your document, then the name of your document is seen on a title bar. This is called the title bar. It lies between in the middle and at the top of the window here. We have another one which is quick access. We talked about quick access toolbar. This one here, quick access toolbar. Actually, this is a convenient resting place for the most frequently used commands. So if commands are frequently used, then they will be shown here. But you can decide even by yourself to customize this. So if you want to customize, to say you have a number of commands here, but you want them to be seen in this quick access toolbar. For example, we have a command here which is bold. This bold is under a group called the font, but now it appears to be in a quick access toolbar. So how do you add a command on a quick access toolbar? You go to the command which you want to add it to the quick access toolbar, then you right click. After you right click, you will find that in the first line you are told to add quick access toolbar. So if you click this, then it appears there as a quick access toolbar. But again, if you click the quick access toolbar, then it allows you to customize. You can customize this, add some other commands. Or if you go to a command and you say customize the ribbon, then you can do customization of a ribbon, etc. That's the quick access toolbar. We talked about a ribbon and tabs. We said that ribbon contains commands that are organized in three components. Ribbon contains commands that are organized in three components. Those components are tab. So if you have a tab, under a tab we have groups. So a ribbon contains a tab, but a tab contains groups, and each group contains commands. So commands appear within each group. For example, you have a group called the clipboard. It has commands like paste, copy, and cut, and format paint. You have a group called the font. This group font has commands like bold, italic, underline, strike through, subscript, superscript, text effects and typography, highlights, and font color. We have a font, we have font size. If you put a cursor on a command, then it tells you what it is. For example, here, increase the font size. This means decrease the font size. This is change case. It shows like that. So these are the commands, and commands they appear under a single group, but groups actually organize the related commands, and each group has a name that appears below that group, and the tabs appear across the top of the ribbon and contain groups of related commands. So those are the different parts of Microsoft Office Word. Now, okay, let us proceed. Let us see these groups one after another. We have the first group, which is called a clipboard group. Actually, this is the first group on the Word home tab, and it is called a clip group. So if you want to open more options, for example, here you have commands like cut, copy, format, paint, paste, but this clipboard has more other options. So if you move your cursor on the on a pointing arrow, which is at the lower right here, you will see that there is a pointing arrow. So if you click this, it will launch a launcher. Okay, it will launch a launcher. Then here you will have a number of options that you can add. For example, in here, if you click this, it will open a dialog box. Dialog box will open, and to this one here, we call it a dialog box launcher or a dialog launcher. If you click it, it will give you more options to other commands that are not listed in here. Here you have a list of commands, but there are some others that are hidden here. So you can open this one here. We call it a dialog launcher. Dialog launcher that will help you to launch a dialog. Now, in some Word documents, you will find that there is something here. We call it a ruler. We call it a ruler. Okay, but here you don't see a ruler. But to show a ruler, what we do is you go to the view. Here you have a tab called the view, and after you have clicked the tab called the view, then you find a group of show. This one here, a group of show. Then you will find a command called the ruler. So if you click this, you will find that there is a ruler that is shown there. Now, let us go into details and see these other parts. We have the first group on the home tab, which is called a clipboard that we have seen. We have another group which we call it a font. We call it a font group area. This font group area, you can specify the following. You can specify a font of your document. For example, here is your document Mama Anakula. So you can decide what type of font you want. For example, you can choose Times New Roman, Calibri, Calibri Light, Arial, Rounded, etc. For example, here we select Times New Roman, and you can choose the style that you want, the font style that you want. You can bold it, or you can make it italic, or you can underline, you can strike through. See, this is these we call them font group, and they have a number of features as they have seen. So you can decide on the font size. For example, this you want it to be looked at with a font size. For example, that is 48 font size, 36 font size. You decide on the size of the font that you want. So there are a number of commands which are found under a group called the font group. We will talk in details about that in the coming videos. Now we have a paragraph group. In paragraph group here, for example, you have more than one word. For example, you have a number of words, or you have paragraphs. Then how do you format paragraphs? You can decide these to appear at the center, or to appear at the right, or to just justify them. If you justify them, then they will by the size of your windows. And the line spacing, the line between these words, for example, this and this, how are they spaced? This is a line and paragraph spacing. You say how a space should appear between a line or between paragraphs. So you can choose which one size, 1.15, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So how they are spaced, how the lines are spaced, or how the paragraphs are spaced, we use line spacing commands. Sometimes we need to give number to this, so you use a numbering here. This is numbering. So if you use numbering here, you can give your text numbers. You choose the type of numbering style that you want. You can decide what type of numbering you want. The A with the brackets, the A with the dot, the Romans, etc. You can give it numbers. Sometimes you just need to put bullets. We call these are bullets. You can choose a bullet, round bullet, or square bullet, or these other bullets. So this is a group called the paragraph group. Now let us see another group, which is called the styles group. As you can see here, it has a normal style, it has no space style. As you can see, let us select this, see a normal style, then it will take a normal style. As you can see, you can have a no space style, you can have a heading style, heading 2 style. There can be heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and so many headings. You go to a title style, subtitle, subtitle emphasis, and emphasis. And if you click to this arrow, you get more. You can even create your own. Style and apply it. We have another group, which is editing. You can see here, you can have editing. If you select your document, you select all of your document. You can find something on your document. For example, we find mama. We look for the word called mama. You see the results. It shows that there is mama. So if you want to replace this mama with let's say the word baba, so you right click, you copy, then you click here replace. If you click replace to compare what word do you want to replace, find first mama, then you want to replace it with the word called what, baba. So if you click replace all, it will replace all the words that were written as mama, and it will have, that is edit group. Now let us now go into details about all these groups. So we will open a document that a person has written some stuffs on it. Then we will try to format such document and see how we can use a word to enhance or to improve our documents. Now this is our document. We have this document, but it is not well formatted. So suppose you are given this kind of document, and you as a word expert, then you need to make this document well formatted. Now how do we go about this? The very first thing you need to do, to make this Word document to be well formatted, you first have to go to this group, which is called the font group, and use the commands that are found in this font group to make sure that this document is well formatted. But the first thing, we will select all of these. Selecting all of these, there are different ways where we can select all of the document. You can go to your keyboard, click Control key and A. You will be from selecting. There you have selected all of the document. Or you can go to this editing, then you select all. You will have selected all of it. Or you can put your cursor here and click, then go down as you select. So you choose the best way that will help you to select all of the document. So you have selected this, then the first thing is to make the whole of the document to be in one font. So remember we said that this is a font, this represents a font. Now here your document has different fonts. So the first thing is to make it to have all of the fonts. So after selecting, let's say we make it to be a Times New Roman document. So now the whole of the document is a Times New Roman document. But as you can see, in here, you find that it has a smaller size. Here it has a larger size. Here is a different sizes. So another thing that we should do is to make then the whole document to have the same size. So again, we select all, Control A, we select all, then we select the size. So now, as you can see, the whole of the document now is of the same size. So it should be Times New Romans and of the same size, which is 12. So if you go here, you find that it is Times New Romans. This is Times New Romans. All of these words now are of Times New Romans. So you see, first of all, we have selected all of the document. Then what is next? We have selected the font for each and every for all of the paragraphs in here. But as you can see now, still there are some problems with the document. Okay, let's go step by step. There are some problems with the document. Now, for example, this one here, it seems to be central. The paragraph here is centralized. But if you look at this one, you select this other paragraph, you find it is aligned to the left. So another step is to make the whole document to be aligned with one type of alignment. So if you decide to use left, that means if you select all of the document and select this left, it means that the whole document will be aligned to the left. Or you can say again, select all and say center, means the whole document will be center. And if you select again and say align to the right, that means the whole document will be aligned to the right. If you select all again and justify, then you will find the document is justified. By justify, that means we distribute the text evenly between the margins. And this in most of the reports, most of proposals, or if you are given an assignment by your instructor, this is the best alignment that you should select. Although you may be required to use other alignments. So if there is an instruction for you how to align your document, then respond accordingly. So you can align your documents to the left or to the right or to the center. So now we have aligned this document as a justified document. So you see here we are using different commands in different groups in the home tab. Okay, now what is next? We need to make sure that all these documents here, as you can see, for example, this and this, the line spacing between this document, this line here and this line here, the line spacing is not the same as this and this. So we can decide again to select the whole document and give it a uniform line spacing. Where do we get line spacing? You go here, you find there is a line and paragraph spacing. So you click to this arrow, then you decide the line spacing that you want to be uniform in whole of your document. So you can have a line spacing of 1, 1.15, 1.5. In fact, this 1.5 is among the best a line spacing that is used for proposal writing, report writing, or even assignment. But there are some requirements you may be given by other instructors to use a line spacing of 2 or whatever. So you can decide here, let's say we use a line spacing of 2. So you will find now the whole document now is spaced with a line of spacing of 2. So that is, now you see our document now is starting to get a shape. And what commands do we use? These commands here. There are different commands that we use. Now, what else? Look at this. This is our title. The title for our document, Learning Microsoft Word. So if this is our title, let's make it, if this is our title, as you can see the way it is now, first of all, we find that there are mixture of words, etc. So if you see a word written and it is underlined with a red color, that means that wording may be not correct. So to correct the word, you just right click, then you select among the words which one you were supposedly you meant. So I think this was learning, so select learning. You see, but suppose this is a title. If this is a title, then we say we want this title to have a bigger font. So if you want the title to have a bigger font, you select it by itself, then you go to this one here. This is if you want to make it to have an upper or lowercase. So if you want to make this with uppercase, you select uppercase. But if you want to have a bigger font, then you come here, you choose the size of the font. So you can decide to put it 24 font, as you can see. As you can see. So now our title has a larger font. Then we have another title down it, which is introduction. Then if we go here, we have this what we call statement of a problem. Then we have research objectives. So as you can see, we have a bigger title with some other titles down there. But these titles can have other titles in it. For example, we can think the fact that we have this introduction as a major title, but we have other titles like statement of a problem and let's say research objectives, research questions, significance of the study. All these, if under this one title, then we can give them different headings. Now, to give headings to our document in Microsoft Word, we use styles. So this group, which is called styles, here is where we give our Word document different styling. There is the first style, which is called normal. Speaking of normal, it means these documents, which are these other paragraphs, which are not headings, are taken as normal. For example, here we have this one here as a normal document. So if we click, this means it will take all the formatting styles of a normal document. So here, as you can see, I have clicked the normal and it has deviated from the settings that we created before. Now, how are we going to make sure that the normal that is in the styles is the same as the normal that we want? So we have to modify that style. How do you modify a style? So you go to the style that you want to modify, you right click, then you click modify. After you click modify, here is where you will change your document to suit the styling that you want. Remember, this one had a double spacing. It had double spacing, so we select double spacing. It was justified. It had double spacing and justified. And yeah, I think those are it was Times New Romans, and the size was 12. So we select size to 12. Then we say okay. So you see now, if we select any document, any paragraph like this, and we select normal, now it will retain the settings that we have for normal. So the whole document will follow the normal style. Okay? For example, this, as you can see, this is a normal style. But if we select this heading here to give it a normal style, you see it has changed from whatever style it had. Now it has followed the style of normal. The same if we take this title and we select normal here, then it will change to follow the style of normal that we have modified. The same here, if we select this one here and we select normal, then it will follow the normal style. So if we select the whole document and click normal, that means the whole document will have only one style, which is what? Which is a normal style. You see this one here, it's a normal style. A normal style. So we have that is what we call normal styles. Now, what if we want to change the styles of these headings? For example, this first heading here, we call it a title. This is a title of our document. So if it's a title for a document, then we can come here and select a style which is called title. But this, the way it is styled, may not be as we want. Probably, for example, now it says it is my Calibri Light. That is the font, and the size is 28. So we can decide to change the title and put it to Times New Romans, and we change the size to the size that we want. But if you change like that, the effect of the title will only be to that particular sentence. If you have another title down here, then you will have to go to that title again and make changes. So if you want all of the sentences that are titles to have the same styling of title, then you have to go to the title style and make modification to suit your needs. So as we have said, you right click, then you come here, we say this will be Times New Romans. Let's put this is 16, and we put it at the center, and we make it bold, and we have a spacing of 2 also. Then we say okay. Now you see the title has now acquired the styles that we have changed to the title. Now, how about this other title? This here is the first heading after the title. So we say this heading here is called introduction. This heading here is called introduction. Now we can assign it a style which is called heading. So that is introduction. We can find another heading here. Another heading, let's say this is literature review. We give it a heading 1. Then let's go to another heading which is research methodology. We can give it heading 1. Let's move to another heading. Let's look for headings. Suppose this is also another heading. We call it heading 1. But this, no, this, let's undo this. This is under for example, these references, we can put it also heading 1. And other relevant information, we can put it heading 1. And financial arrangements, we can put it heading 1. We decide that that is a major heading with the that within it are smaller other headings. Okay, now we have our heading 1. But as you can see, as you can see, these headings may have different styles. For example, if we select this, it shows that this is a Calibri Light, and its size is 16. Then it is a color which is blue. Now I want the headings 1 to have a common style, and they should be Times New Romans with automatic color, and should be bolded, but the size should be 14. Now we will right click under heading 1, say modify. After we modify, we will find the formatting styles here. So we will select this to Times New Romans. Then we say this is 14, as we have said. Change this color to automatic theme colors. Then we put it to align to the left, and spacing the same too. Then we say okay. So as you can see, the style has changed to introduction. Okay, but if we modify again, let's say this should be also be bolded. It is also bolded. Now you see this heading 1 has changed, but the changes has not occurred only on introduction. You will find also changes in literature review, changes in methodology, changes in these references. We have also, so the effect is taken to all the documents. So you see how we use these styles. We call these styles. Now let's change again to another heading 2. Heading 2 means it's a heading under this heading 1. When you say heading 2, it means that we have heading 1. Then under it, this heading 1 has other subparts that we can call them that are under the introduction. So we have the introduction, and from the introduction, we have the statement of a problem. Then this we can call it heading 2. Then we go to research objectives. This also we can call it heading 2. Research questions, we can also call it heading 2. Significance of the study, we can also call it heading 2. Also, under literature review, we might have some subheadings, but for now there are no subheadings here. And how about methodology? The methodology also, we might have subheadings. We see that there is location of the study. We can select it and make it heading 2. Research designs and procedures, we call it heading 2. And data collection and equipments used, we call it heading 2. Again, data analysis, we can also call it heading 2. Reliability and validity, we can also call it heading 2. Research ethical consideration, we also call it heading 2. Now, how about references? There are no subheadings. Is other information, let's say financial arrangements, to be heading 2 instead of being heading 1. Then duration, let's make it also heading 2, because these are under one major heading, which is called the heading 1. So now we have again heading 2, but as you can see, heading 2, they also have certain characteristics. They are Calbril 13. Now we can go to heading 2, right click, modify the document. Then we say this should be Times New Romans, size should be 12, should be bolded, it should be automatic color, and they should be aligned to the left. If you say okay, then you will find that all those that we styled them to be heading 2. This one, you see, this is heading 2, heading 2. This is heading 2, heading 2. They have all changed to a new heading. Now you may find that there is heading 2 with sub other headings. For example, we have this research objective. It might have 2 headings. For example, you can have general or main objectives, main objective, and you can have specific objectives. So you say that is a main objective, and you can have some specific objectives here, more than one. Now, because this main objective has some words in it, it can be a heading also. It can be a heading. So we can select this to be a heading under this heading called the research objective. We can make it to be heading 3. It is possible. Then again, now let me introduce you another command. For example, now we have seen that we select this, we go to heading 3, we select, we go to heading 3, etc., etc. But there is a command called the format painter, this one here. This format painter, it takes, if you have a certain selection, then you want that selection to be applied to the other content of your document, you use this format paint. How do you use it? So you select this, then you click format paint, then you go to the content that you want it to acquire the same styles as this. You see, it is like a painter. So you select it, then it has acquired what? It has acquired the characteristics of this other content. You see? Now, let us go to heading 3 and again modify it. You can modify it to be Times New Romans 12, and this is automatic. We put it to align to the left. It should be also bolded. Then we say okay. Now we have seen a number of styles here. You see, we have seen and how to use different styles. Now let us keep moving. Let us keep moving and try to format our document. Now let us proceed. As you can see, our document now is taking shape. Our document is taking shape. Now we have said this is our title for our document. Suppose you are given an assignment and you say that this title should appear on its own page. its own page. Its own page. Now, what we do is we have to remove this title here and put it on a new document on top of this document. Now, I will again introduce you to another tab which is called Insert. But before that, I will right click and cut this title. So I have the title on a clipboard. I have a title on a clipboard. You remember what's a clipboard? Clipboard, what it does, you can cut, you can copy, you can paste. So now I have a title on a clipboard. Now what I do, I want to insert a new document. So you go to Insert. After inserting, there is where what you do is you can insert a blank document. Say a blank document like this. It will appear a new document on top of this document. So we click blank document. After we have clicked blank document, as you can see, a new document has appeared on top of that other document. Now here we can click and go to clipboard again and paste. We paste our title. So this is our title. Okay, you see, that's our title. So we have a title and we have our document. Now we can say again, we have this document, but we want to insert another document down below this other document. So you just go to Insert, then you say blank document. You see the blank document has occurred below this other document. So if we want a document on top of it, you bring your cursor here, then you click blank document, the document will appear on top. If you want it to appear at the bottom, you put your cursor here, then you click blank document, then the blank document will appear. So here we have a document which is a cover page. This is a cover page. Now let us make it to be a real cover page. So suppose this is an assignment from your instructor you are given as a group. So if it is an assignment of a group, then you need to put your details. Let's say you are five. You are 5 people. You want to put your name, your registration number, and a signature. So here you will insert what we call a table. You will insert a table. So if you go to Insert Table, you click Insert Table, it will require you to write the number of columns. Remember, the columns are those that stand like this. So remember, you have the name, registration number, and the signature. So you have only 3 columns. So you select 3 columns. How many are you in your assignment? Maybe you are 5. So you select 5 rows. So you will have a table here with the 3 rows and the 5 columns. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we have put two columns instead of 3. Don't worry. What you can do is, you see here, if you select your table, you go and click your table there. If you right click here, and you can go here, you can find the word Insert. If you follow it, you say Insert columns to the left, insert columns to the right. We want to add 1 column, so we put it to the right. But 2, we have added 2 instead of 1. Then what should we do? And we want only 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. Then we need to remove this column here. So you select this column here, then you right click, then you say delete columns. Boom, the column is gone. Now we have our table, a very nice table with the 2 columns. But the way the table is, it's not good, doesn't look good. Look, I want it to be at the center. I want it to, but okay, I can say maybe I want it to fit to the window, just to fit here and here. So I will again click the table, right click, then go to a place written out of fit. So you select out of fit, then you say out of fit to window. You click out of fit to window. Wow, the table is now has now increased in size, but has it fitted to the window? I see. Okay, it is not bad. It is not bad. Okay, now I want to style this table. If you want to style this table, then you need to use table styles. You click this. You have to style the table. So you select the table by clicking these 4 arrows here. then the whole table will be selected. Then you can come to a group called the table styles here. This is under a tab called the design. This tab called the design occurs only if you have created a table or you have created an image or a shape that needs to be styled. So this is a design. So you can select the type of table that you want. You can decide to have this kind of table or this kind of table or this kind of table. They are all tables. Or you can select more here and select the tables that you want. You can have a table with the shading, some shading. You see this table here has got some shadings. But you can say, okay, I don't want these shadings here. You can come to this and say no color. You remove the shades. You say this, you select it, then you say no color. You can come and select this and you shade, you say no color. You see, so you have this table. You have this table. It has different characteristics. Now you can have a table without borders. If you go to a place called borders, then you can decide what type of borders you want. You can have the whole borders like this, all borders. You have all of them have the borders, or you can decide to have border at the bottom or border at the top only, or all borders like that, etc., etc. If you select the whole document and say I want it to have border at the top, then it gives you the border at the top, at the left, right, or all borders, borders outside, borders inside, diagonal borders, as you can see. So different styles here you can select. But you can decide to draw a table by using border painter. For example, you select this border painter, then you paint your border like this. You paint it, you paint your border, say this. I have painted the border. I've painted the border. I can even draw another table somewhere here. You see the border. Yeah, you say you paint the borders. Paint the borders like that. Now we have seen different styles. How about the lines in a border? You can select double lines like this one here. You want to paint the double lines. You paint double lines, and this double line. You can select this other border to be many lines. You select and say, okay, this is another type of bordering, and this one here. So you use a border painter. Okay, use a border painter. Now here you can write your, let's say your name. Say this is your name, and this is your registration number, and this is your signature. Oh, but what is happening? We don't see some words in here. We don't see some words. How about if we go here and say this to be automatic? Maybe the color, you see, the color was not black. So here it was white. If you put a white color here, then the words won't be seen. You see, the words are not seen. So you need to select it all and you go to the color, then you select automatic color, then the color will appear like that. Okay, so here we have seen how we can insert a table, how we can insert now we have a document like that. Again, now let us again go to the same insert tab. Let's go to the same insert tab. Now this is our document, but as you can see, our document has no numbers. We know that documents should have a number. We say this is document number 1, document number 2, document number 3. What we have to do if the documents have no numbers, you go to the insert tab, then you go to header and footer group. Header and footer group. There you will find page numbers. So you select, then here you select how do you want your document to have the page numbers. You can select at the top. At the top means numbering will appear at the top. As you can see here, the numbering will appear at the top, but top left, top center, top right, or accent bar like this. Or you can say at the bottom. Let's use at the bottom. For example, you use this type of numbering, or at the center, or right, or this one accent bar. Let us use this plain number 2. So now you can see our document now has been given numbers. Our document now has a number. So close the header. Now you have a document with what? a document with a number. Wow. Let us proceed. Let us proceed. Now we go again to the insert tab. As you can see, the insert tab, it has a number of stuffs that we can use, a number of commands that we can use. For example, this Word document here, that is our title. But before our title, suppose we want to, let's take this down. Suppose that is our title, but we want to put the logo of the University of Dodoma. So we say this is the, let's say the logo of Elimika Mtandaoni. We say this is Elimika Mtandaoni. That is the person that gave you the assignment, Elimika Mtandaoni. Now, we want to put a logo here. So you go to Insert, then you go to Pictures, then it will take you to where you have put your pictures. You select the picture that you want to put, then boom, that is the picture has got there. You can just take it like this and format it to be to appear good. So the picture is there, but we want this picture to be at the center. So we select the picture, then we go to the Home tab. Remember, it has this paragraphing style that is the center. If you click that, it goes to the center. Now we have inserted a picture in our document. Now we have inserted a picture. What else can we do? We can even insert a quick art, a word art. We put some artistic words. For example, here we want this name to appear artistically. So if we go to here, we can select the type of naming. For example, you see this, the way it appears. It has an artistic style. So we can select different styles here to put them. That is, if you select an artistic name by inserting, then a format, another tab opens, which is called format. This tab help you to do different styles with the art, the word art. You can put different styles. Okay, now let us use the same thing. Suppose now we want to insert a document, a figure, a figure like a chart, an organizational structure. You go to insert, then we go to shapes. Here, shapes, you have different shapes. For example, you are making a mathematics examination. You find a lot of these figures. So for example, here I want to create an organizational structure. So I select this shape, then I draw the shape like this, put it here. Then again, I take an arrow, put it arrow here. Then again, I take, let's go to format. I take a shape, another shape. Then I say this follows this. Again, take an arrow. Again, we take a line. So we put a line here. Then again, an arrow. You see, this is an organizational structure. We draw an organizational structure. We draw it like this, and we take this. Again, take this. Again. So in here, you can write your, let's say this is a CEO. This is a CEO. This is department manager. As a department manager. This is employee 1. And this is employee 2. So you see, this is a kind of organizational structure. You just write. So if you want to insert shapes, you go to insert, then select different shapes. You can insert a chart. For example, you want a chart to appear in your document. For example, here we have written, then we want a chart to appear. You go, you write chart, you click a chart, then you select what type of chart you want to appear. That is the type of chart. But we want a line chart, then you say okay, there comes a chart, and you can customize that chart depending on the type of data that you want. So How do you customize it? You have a chart in Microsoft Excel. Say this is category 1, category 2. Say maybe this represent age group from 0 to 5. This represent age group from 5 to 10. This represent age group from this is 5 to 10, please. 5 not October. Okay, let's use the word to say 5 to 0 to 5. Then this is 0 to 10, 0 to 10. This again is 10 to 15. This is let's say 15 to 20. So now you see here we have different groups. Then this is a series. Then you have your chart like that. Okay, this you can close it, close there. You remain with your chart there. Now we have discussed also the insert, but let us finish with the insert. Let us finish with the insert. You can insert a text box, you can insert a comment, you can insert a footer. A footer is, you find it below here, like in 1. You want to put a mark on your document, you press a footer. A header appears at the top in each page. Okay, now let us add another document here. Let us add another document here. Let's add another document. So we go to insert blank document. Now we have a document below this document here. Now let us see another functionality. Now we'll go to another functionality. We call it page layout, and see what groups are there and what commands are there. This page layout helps us to have a layout of our page. For example, if you want to set the margin of our page, we go to page layout and you find the margins. Then you can select whether the normal margin, the narrow margin, the moderate, or you can customize. If you click customize, it means that your document, the dialog box like this will happen. Then you will have to set the top margins by yourself. So that is, those are inches. Those are in form of inches. At the top, this is the left. This is bottom. This is right. You can decide in that way. You can decide on the paper size. You can use a letter, A4 or Lego. That is A4. You can decide to use it that. How about layout? You can also change some layouts, etc. Okay, that's okay. Now you can also change the orientation. A document can be portrait or landscape. Portrait is the one that is stands still like that. Landscape, this is the landscape document. You see, so if we go back to portrait, that is a portrait. But sometimes we write documents, we can write documents in multiple columns. You can decide whether to write in a single column. For example, this is just a single column document, but you can have 2-column document. If you write like that, then you find your document with the columns. It shows columns like that. You can put 3 columns. You see 3 columns, that your document takes 3 columns. But let's go back and put it just one column. Where do we get that? Under a tab called page layout. But it is also very, very important. It is also very, very important to break your document into sections. For example, this is the first section that we call introduction. This is the first section that we call introduction. You see, this is the first section. We call it introduction. For example, we want to make changes to only this section without affecting the other sections. So if you want to do that, then you have to break other sections to break this document into sections. For example, if you finish the word section, the introduction section ends here. So here, you see here, this is the introduction section end. Now you want to break this section to start another section, which is called literature review. So you click there, then you go to breaks. Then you go to next page. You click next page. Here you will have broken the document into sections. So go to all these sections and change. So we do changes to all. This section literature ends here. So we again go to breaks, next page. It will go to the next page. Again, another section is section references. So we click that, we say breaks, we go to the next section. And another section is section relevance. Go to breaks, then next page. This helps you to make changes of the document based on the sections. For example, remember we talked about orienting the document either to be landscape or portrait. So suppose let's say you have this document here and you want this document to be landscape while other documents remain to be portrait. So if you have broken this document into section, if you click this document here and you go to page layout, then you say orientation, landscape, you see only this document will change to landscape, not other documents, because you have divided these documents into what? Into sections. So sections help you to, if you want to make changes to only only few documents at a time. So for example, you may find some other, let's say, suppose you have this Elimika Mtandaoni, you want to add a page here. Let's go to insert and add a page. So we have another blank page here. So suppose we want numbering style. For example, this is 1, this is 2. I want this first document to have a different number style as compared to this one. So what I will have to do first, I will click here, then I will go to page layout, then I will break section. After breaking section, there is where I will come back to this document here. Then I will go to insert, then I will go to page numbers, then I will change page numbers, format page numbers. I will click format page numbers. So now you see the format of page, it is 1, 2, 3. I may decide to use Roman numbers. So I say, okay. Now this document here, as you can see, it has a numbering system of Roman number, but this one here is numeric. See, so I can say again, go to this document and again go to insert, then page numbers, then I go to format page numbers, then I can say start at 1. Say okay. You see now this has started at 1 and this one here has started at what? At 1. But this one is a different numbering style and this one here is a different numbering style. That is only possible if you break your documents into sections. Now let us see another important tab in Microsoft Word, which is called the References tab. This is a very important tab that you should be familiar with if you are a student and you normally do different assignments. So I will take my time to talk to you about this. So I will first talk about a table of content. This is a group called table of contents that has commands like table of contents, add text, update table. Now, what is it going to? What are we going to do here? For example, you want to insert a table of content. First, you go to tab called the references. Then you find a group called table of contents. Then you click table of contents. It is simple. You select the style that you want, or otherwise you select any style that you want, or otherwise you can have custom table contents. But here, let us just select any type of content. If you select this, you see the table of content appears just like that. You see there is a table of content with the registration number, introduction, I don't know what. You see these. Why these have happened? All that I want the introduction, the literature, the hist. This table of content retrieves all those texts with the style. You remember when we were talking about the home tab, we talked about these styles. So if you style your document, any content within your document with any of these styles, the styles that are called the headings, then that will be taken in your content. So here it shows that there is this name or these that have been given a style type. Now let's go and see. This one here, it shows that this is a style heading 1. So if we don't want this to happen in our table of content, we have to make it normal. Again, all these ones here, they seem to be heading 1, so we put them normal. Now, if we go back to our table of content, you see it is still there, but if you click that table of content, then you go to references again, then you say update table. You see it will tell you to update page numbers only or entire table. So select entire table, say okay. You see now we have those numbers gone. But there is a document in page 2. In page 2, it seems not also it has a heading style. Let's go to page 2. So this is, remember, this is number 1, this is number 2. Now let's talk about, let's select this whole document. If we select this, go to home, you just try to select it. It will tell you if it has this one here. It seems there is heading 1 here. So you put it to normal, then you go back to your table of content, you select that table of content, then you go to references, then update table, update entire table. Now it has gone. You see, now we have inserted our table of content. Now we have our table of content. Again, what else should we insert? As you are a student or a person writing a report or a proposal, then there are times that you read other people's work. So after reading other people's work, you need to cite them. You need references for those work that you have done. So here at the Word document, there are a way where you can insert citations. How do you insert citations? You go to the references tab, then you choose a group called Citations and Bibliograph. Don't go to this because this is an external application called Mendeley. You may not find this in your computer if you have not installed Mendeley. So forget about this. You will find this group called Citations and Bibliograph. So suppose you have read a certain book called the Fundamentals of Information Technology. Then this first sentence here that you have reported, you have read it from that book which is called Fundamentals of Information Technology. What you will have to do, you will have to first go to the insert citation, but instead of clicking insert citation, you click to this arrow down here and you add first a new source because that book may not be here in your computer. Who is the author? Suppose the author is Mr. Agustino Mogos. So you come here, you edit, then you write the last name of that author, that is Mogosi, and the first name of the author, Agustino. Then you say add. If the book is authored by more than one person, suppose this is also authored by Madam, let's say we have Mambire, Cecilia, then you add. So you have two authors, or you have another author that is Kasita Chande, another author. So we have three authors. they have written one book. Let's say you see they appear as authors here. Then what is the title of the book? Is Fundamentals of Information Technology. Fundamentals of Information Technology. This book was published probably in 2019, and the city is Dar es Salaam. And the publisher is Mkuki na Nyota. Nyota. So that's the publisher. Mkuki na Nyota. Say Nyota. So you say okay. If you say okay here, you will put what we call, this is what we call citation. Citation is like acknowledgement. You are acknowledging the author of the book that you have read. So if you want to avoid plagiarism, that means to use other people's work without their acknowledgement, you cite them using this tab that is called references. Let's put another reference here. Suppose this is, we have written until here, then we put citation. We put citation here. So we go again to insert tab. Suppose this is also a new book. If it is the same book, you just select it and use it. If it is a new book, you go here and say add a new source. For example, this book here is written by Mr. Let's say Ulomi George. Mr. Ulomi George. This is the book. It's written by Mr. Ulomi George. Suppose the title of the book is Fundamentals of Networking. Fundamentals of Networking. Fundamentals of Networking. This book probably was published in 2020, and it was published in Dodoma. It was published by Kimbiko Publisher. So we say okay. Now you see we have Ulomi 2000 and here. So this tab here is very important again. So if you have put citations, then automatically you need to put references. So if you come down here, the place where we have references, here we need to insert references. References are very important if you're answering questions in an assignment or So if you want to add references here, then remember you have already added some citations. All we have to do here, nothing, but you just have to go to this part which is called bibliograph. Then you click insert bibliograph. Click insert bibliograph. Those citations that you have added in the sources there will appear here as references. So we are waiting here. We have clicked the bibliograph. Then we want to see the references appear. So after you have clicked your bibliograph, now we put this, select insert bibliograph. We have different referencing styles here. There is this for an external program called Mendeley. Okay, we have this an external which is called Mendeley, and this one for Microsoft Word. So as I am inserting here, it refers to this other. But don't worry, if you have done the citations well, then if you go to this insert bibliograph, then it will appear, your references will appear just like this. Although these are not the references that we have added there, because there is a link between this an application program called Mendeley and this Word. So this has taken over. That's why you see here references appear as from Mendeley. Now, what else? We can go to view, see what we can do with the view. Here, if you want to view your document as grid lines, you see. You want to view the navigation panel of your document, you select view, you will find your navigation panel appears like there, heading. So if you want to access your document in a quickest way, you use this view navigation panel. If you put the guidelines, the grid lines, your document will appear with the lines like that. So if you don't want a ruler, then you and select the ruler. So there is where you can view it as a web page, you can view it as an outline, you can view it in a new window, or you can switch different windows. So this is how Microsoft Word document is created and formatted. Thank you very much for following Elimika Mtandaoni. We have had quite a long lecture on how you can use Microsoft Word to make formatting of your document. Follow for more. Don't forget to subscribe. Thing that we should talk about now. This is our document, and we have tried our best to format our document. Now, there is one thing missing. If you see this document the way it is, there are some parts that need to be numbered. For example, you say this is an introduction here. This is a heading, and there is another heading under introduction, which is called a statement of the research problem. Now we need to give numbering to these parts. So there are two ways where we can give numbering to these parts. For example, if it is a style, for example, that is heading style, we can give numbering by modifying the heading style. So we right click the heading style, then we say modify. Then under the dialog box down there, you will find a button to format. So you click that button, formatting. You will find there are a lot of stuffs that you can do with the dialog box. So we go to numbering. So after opening numbering, then in here you select the type of numbering that you want. For example, let us select this introduction, and we say okay. Then we say okay. So here that heading 1 will carry a number. So as you can see here, the numbering has started with the 14. I don't know why it has started with 14, but we want it to start at 1. So we start at 1. So we right click here and we click restart at 1. So it has changed to be heading 1 with number 1.0. Now we say this statement of problem is should be numbered just below the 1. That means if there we have 1.0, then here we can have 1.1. You see? So we go to heading 2, then we right click, we modify, then again we go to numbering, then under numbering we select the same numbering style, which is 1, say okay, then okay. It will also give you 1, but why should it give you 1? But we want it to be 1.1. What should we do? We go to that number, then we right click, then we say continue numbering. So if we say continue numbering, it means that show that here we have some other numbering. Okay. Now let all these were given. Let us first remove all these numberings when you're doing this. Contents here, delete the contents. Let us remove these numbers here. It shows that there are numberings have been given for all the headings. Okay, let us take these. Now here we are fine. If we go here, we will have 1. This will be 1. This will be 2. But let us make some changes here. We want this to be 1.1, not 2. So we have to change the level. That means in order to change the level, we need to go to this part which we call multi-level list. So if we select this multi-level list and we go and select the type of numbering that we have, that is 1.1.1. So this, as you can see, then we go again to multi-level, we select the level list. So this will be level 1. Level 2. So if we say level 2, then this will be given this will be 1, but this will be 1.1. Now, if you remember, we talked about format paint, this one here. So if we select this and we want to go to the objectives to follow this same numbering system, after you have selected it, you click the format paint, then select the objectives, then it gives you 1.2. So if we want to name again this objective, because this general objective is under the research objective, that is 1.2. This, we want this to be 1.2.1. So we go again, we modify, we go to numbering, then we select the same numbering style, say okay, it will give us this. But how about if we say continue numbering? What happens? It gives us 2, 3, 4, but what we want is to change this numbering style into the level 3. So we go to multi-level, select this, again we go to multi-level, select level 3. So if you select level 3, you see now it has changed from, it is 1.2, then this will be 1.2.1. So if we format paint this specific objective, also will be 1.2.2. So that is how we do numbering. But otherwise, if you have some sentences that you just, they are not in style and you want to give them numbers, for example, we have, let's say we have a number of lines here. Sorry, this we have, let's say line 1, line 2, and 3. Suppose we want to give numbers to these sentences here. You select all of these, then you go to this part here, which we call it numbering. Then you click, you select the type of numbering that you want. Can be that, can be ABC, can be Romans, ABC with the small letters, 1, 2, 3 with the bracket, or none. So you can select that. Or sometimes you don't want numbers, you just need bullets. You use bullets. So you can select different types of bullets like that, or this one here, or the other one there, or you can select this type of bulleting. So that is how we perform numbering when we are formatting a Word document. Thank you for following Elimika Mtandaoni. Please subscribe.